Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to do another discussion video on a brand of watch called Timex. Now, Timex everybody's heard about, and this video is going to be about basically, are Timex watches any good? Timex has been around forever. A little bit about the company. Timex was founded in Connecticut in 1854 as the Waterbury Clock Company. In 1933, the world's first Mickey Mouse watch was released, a low-cost character. Business hit a big hit with combining a sorry, this is written in another language here, so it's a little difficult to read. They were able to make these Mickey Mouse watches for a really low price. Character items such as Moomin, Calamero, Flanders Dog were produced as domestic projects, and it was sold only in Japan. Meanwhile, Timex was purchased in 1969 by a manufacturer originating in Switzerland, and that's when they changed the name to Timex from the Waterbury Clock Company. So really, Timex has been around since 1969 as far as that particular name. They basically come out with many watches since then, and a number of products that make lifestyle comfortable beyond the fame of the clock supported the success of Timex Corporation, which over the 150-year history has manufactured plants and offices in more than 80 countries, continues to provide innovative, stylish, tough, and unique watches. So the one I want to talk about today is this watch here is one that has been in my collection for a very long time. This was produced roughly in the 1960s. This watch is, what was that, about almost 60 years old. And this was my grandfather's watch. And I don't really know what he paid for it, or my grandfather was a pretty frugal guy, so I'm sure he didn't pay much for it. But the whole idea behind this video was the fact when people come back and they say, oh, this watch isn't going to last you that long. This isn't going to last. This watch is crap. Absurd. Because this watch was a very inexpensive watch that my grandfather bought. It's one of my most special watches in my collection because it's really the first watch I believe I ever owned. Now, I have a Star Wars watch somewhere around, but you know, I don't know if this came before or after that. So that might be the first watch I owned. But this one here, after my grandfather passed away, was handed down to me, and I keep it locked up. I never wear it. It's just part of my collection, and it's meaningful. This watch is actually manufactured in Great Britain. There's not a lot of information on this watch. All I could find about this watch was its manufacture date being roughly around the 60s. This is a water-resistant case. It doesn't say how much. This was done in a classic gold, and the case diameter is 3.1 centimeters. It's a very, very small watch, but here's my point, guys. This is a very inexpensive watch that my grandfather did not pay much for. And when people come back and say, oh, this watch will last you forever, this Rolex is going to last you way longer, absurd, because this watch, I'm going to wind it up right now, this watch, after all this time, see that second hand? Still works. So, again, you could have good luck and you could have bad luck with anything, with any product out there. And Timex is a great company. Timex has a ton of watches in their collection. I mean, I was just checking out their site, and I don't really own any other Timex besides that one there. It's only because Timex, for me, you know, I tend to like the larger watches, and they have gravitated towards making some very interesting larger watches. They have in their men's lineup 325 watches, and I'm looking through some of them, and they have some really unique designs, all the way from you know, up to $200. I'm not sure if they have ones more than that. Let's see what their most expensive one is. Just give you an idea of what looks like their full-size case diameter watch, or what they call full-size diameter, is going to be 40 millimeters. So you're not going to get a watch bigger than 40 millimeters through Timex. Let's see what else they got here. The small watches are 30 millimeter, below 30 millimeter, mid-size 30 to 39, and your full-size, I'm sorry, are 40 plus. Let's see what they have there. Let me refine this by price. Let's do what we say we're gonna do there. Sort by highest price. Let's see what the highest price Timex is. So the highest price Timex watch on their site is $200. And their lowest price watch on their site is $40. So pretty inexpensive. They make pretty inexpensive watches, but it doesn't mean they're bad or not, you know, tough or anything like that. So let's just go with we'll go with high to low, and let's go with case size and see what the biggest case size they make is. So they have a couple watches in the 45 millimeter range. Again, that's not going to be as large as like your Invicta watches, but they have some really cool designs and some really cool complications in their watches. Lots of different colors. 227 items in the 40 millimeter and plus size watches. So I can't go through all these today, but nonetheless, they make an exceptional watch for an exceptional value. But again, remember, guys, when you're looking at that $200 price range, it really is going to come down to what you like. And although Timex, I'm not going to say is a better watch or a inferior watch to Invicta, but it's just a watch that provides, or a company that provides watches that you may like better. And let's face it, it's a time-tested watch. It's been around forever. And I'm sorry, I can't help but to click this one here. Take a look here. This is their Waterbury World Time, they call it. That's pretty cool. It's got a complication on here. It shows winter and summer. Kind of unique. 24 time zones, water resistant. See if they have anything on the movement. Intelligent Quartz World Time Movement. 2-second time zone, season settings. That's a pretty cool feature. You know, interesting. I always like to see different companies making different, unique watches. I think that's a kind of a cool watch. I don't know. I encourage you guys to check it out. So again, Timex is a great watch company. They make, again, many different styles of watches, and they've been around forever. So this watch, over 60 years old, it still works. It says a lot about the company. And again, it says a lot about the fact that you can have good and bad luck with anything. And just because you spend $150 for an Invicta or an Aragon or $100 for a Timex, it doesn't mean that it's inferior to watches that cost 50 times as much. It doesn't mean that if you have to spend $8,000 or $5,000 on a watch in order for it to be functional and tell time, which is what they all do. And some tell time better than others, but does it really matter? You get what you like, you get what makes you feel good and what you want to wear. Don't buy anything because of other people, and surely don't buy it based on the name. Because, again, good and bad luck with anything. Buy it based on how you like the way it feels, how you feel wearing it, and how it looks. Alright guys, well thanks a lot for watching. Tell me about your experience with Timex. Stay tuned for more reviews. I'm going to be reviewing a laptop next couple days. Just going to follow up with the company first to kind of talk a little about the product before I review it. And guys, stay tuned for more. Thanks guys, have a great day.